One decision, one carefully planned move, and 35 luxury homes worth over $50 million faced total disaster. This is the true story of a civil engineer who didn't argue, didn't threaten, and didn't break a single law. He used no violence, no shortcuts, only strategy, timing, and legal authority. And he turned the system against those who tried to steal his property. No chaos, no aggression, only results, completely legal. Watch until the end, because what happens next, even insurance companies couldn't ignore. The story begins with Marcus. Marcus was 58. An experienced civil engineer. Over 30 years, he had mastered dams, rivers, flood control, and land management. He knew how water flows, how land reacts, and how laws govern it. Most importantly, he owned 847 acres of land inherited from his grandfather. The land was breathtaking. Dense forests, rolling hills, and a crystal-clear river running through it. For Marcus, it wasn't just property. It was a responsibility. His dream was to build an eco-resort, sustainable, nature-friendly, something his grandfather would be proud of. For 3 years, Marcus planned meticulously. He spent hundreds of thousands on architects and environmental experts, filed permits, paid property taxes annually. Everything was documented. Everything legal. Everything moving in the right direction. Then one morning, everything changed. Marcus went to inspect his land. His car suddenly stopped. In front of him was heavy machinery, excavators, cement mixers, dozens of workers, and a large banner, Riverside Meadows, 35 luxury homes. On his own land, Marcus stepped out, heart racing. He asked the construction foreman calmly what was happening. The man casually said a residential colony was being built. When Marcus said, "This is my land," the foreman laughed. He explained that they had permits, documents, and according to their records, the land now belonged to Riverside Meadows HOA. Marcus could contact authorities if he wanted construction would continue regardless. Before leaving, the foreman added, "By next month, most houses will be ready." "Welcome, neighbor." Marcus rushed to the county office. The records shocked him. Fake documents, forged signatures, fraudulent claims. The HOA had illegally claimed a large portion of his land using an old water rights law, even though taxes were paid and permits active. This was paper theft. Marcus hired property law specialist Patricia. After reviewing, she confirmed clear fraud, but there was a challenge. The HOA had immense funds, top lawyers, and construction was underway. A court case could take years. By the time a verdict came, homes would be built. Patricia advised to try a settlement first. The meeting changed everything. HOA President Veronica Ashford, a powerful real estate developer, was in the room. Marcus presented original deeds, decades of tax records, inheritance papers, and court-admissible evidence. Veronica barely looked up. She told him he might win in court, but years later, her offer, a fraction of the land's value. Take it, or waste years in court. Marcus refused. Security escorted him out. That night, Marcus remembered the river flowing through his property came from a reservoir, held by a dam built by his grandfather on land HOA hadn't claimed. Still legally, Marcus inspected the dam, studied flood maps, and noticed something the developers had ignored. The construction site was in a designated floodplain. Special permits, engineering standards, and insurance were required, none of which were properly secured. He ran simulations on his engineering software. The results: during legal maintenance, water would flow naturally toward the floodplain. He contacted Patricia. 2 tasks: file an emergency injunction for illegal construction in the floodplain, and give the county official notice of dam maintenance, including controlled spillway operation. Everything documented. Warnings posted. Certified letters sent. HOA ignored all notices. On a clear morning, Marcus reached the dam. Following every protocol, the spillway gates opened gradually, exactly according to regulations. In hours, the river flowed naturally into the floodplain as predicted. By evening, foundations were washed, machinery stuck, construction halted. Financial loss escalated. Inspectors arrived. Violations confirmed. Total damage exceeded $45 million. When Veronica arrived, she saw the results. Marcus had done nothing illegal. The problem was unauthorized construction. During mediation, facing legal liability, rejected insurance claims, and potential fraud charges, the HOA settled. Land returned, compensation paid, public acknowledgement made. Months later, Marcus stood on his restored land. The river flowed peacefully. His dream revived. 2 years later, the Eco Resort opened and won awards. When asked how he achieved this, Marcus replied, "He thought like an engineer, understood the system, respected the law, and executed responsibly." The lesson: revenge isn't the goal. Accountability is. When arrogance ignores the law, reality answers.